is it possible, and I wonder if you're both on the same page or not, for journalism online to remain free? We know the missteps of newspapers in the past, putting their content online for free, but what's the future of it?
Well, I do think that the iPad is a great new development certainly for magazines. I do think we prefer at the Daily Beast to have the model that isn't seeking payment. It seems to us that we can really make a profitable enterprise through the medium of advertising and brand extension.
So the day of charging for the Daily Beast online right now, at least, is not in your
not
vision.
Right now, right,
No,
Steve?
Yeah, absolutely not. It's free. You know, I remember being at a talk a few years ago and somebody stood up from the digital world and said, oh, you know, strong, trusted media brands on the internet, those days are over. It's all about what you said, aggregation and, you know, bloggers and free content. And I remember actually getting up and passionately disagreeing with it, because I believe that there's always room for trusted, credible content, and not just from the reader's point of view, but also from the marketer's point of view, and that's the world that we're living in.
Do you believe that the future is in original content, or a majority
There is
of
no
original
question
content?
that increasingly, there's a lot of research out there to back this up, that people feel bombarded by the amount of news out there. They're looking for a trusted source, something that's credible, respected. And that's where the Daily Beast and Newsweek, for that matter, come in. If you're curious about the world and you want to kind of have something that helps you form your own opinion, then the Daily Beast and Newsweek help you do that. And certainly the Daily Beast has got an audience that's a loyal audience that reflects that we satisfy that need, and we kind of grab their hearts and minds.
So I want to go through some of these covers, because there are some that would say the most controversial covers may be the ones that do well. Some of the metrics show that this one. Would you call this the most controversial cover thus far?
Well, that cover really took on a life of its own, I have to say.
You didn't expect this?
I certainly didn't expect the kind of ongoing, week-long marathon reaction to that cover. But, yeah, it certainly drew a lot of interest. And actually, you know, magazines need to be talking points. And that was a cover which proved again, actually, that the imagery on a cover is incredibly important and powerful. That to have a cover to make that kind of visual sort of excursion into the conversation is a powerful tool.
What is this saying? What is the statement? Did you choose this together?
Yeah. I was the editorial team, chose it. That cover was about, we came off that week of the debt ceiling madness, where there was such a rabid feeling, you know, in Washington, and Michelle Bachmann out there getting to be number one in the straw poll in Iowa seemed to be epitomizing to us that angry base, if you like, and so that's what we chose the cover.
The Queen of Rage. It's not just a picture; it's also the headline.
Yes. Well, that's the Tea Party for you.
This is another one that stood out to me, Mitt Romney, the Mormon moment.
Yes.
Something like this.
Well, I think that, you know, it was a great moment. When there was the Book of Mormon, the musical, winning, you know, all the Tonys, you have this incredible fact that you now have two major Republican candidates who are Mormons. And so the piece really said, actually, let's look again at Mormonism. It does breed a great deal of success. It's the success religion. And so we thought it would be a great statement, really, to have Mitt Romney is the sort of the festive Mormon in the Book of Mormon.
How does your readership react to covers like this? Outside of all the pundits weighing in, are people buying more of these magazines? Is this what's selling? Is this what the trajectory of the brand is now? Is it to make a very bold, controversial statement?
Yeah, these covers have done very well. In fact, the Mitt Romney cover, the Mormon cover, was one of our biggest sellers since we came in, and Michelle Bachmann did extremely well too. Now, there's no doubt that obviously when a magazine enters the conversation like that, it does have a very positive impact on sales. But it also tells the world that this is a magazine that's alive and awake, that it's there to be enjoyed as something of the now, as opposed to something that just somehow arrives in your mailbox and sometimes you read it and sometimes you don't.
Both of you journalists at the core, would you ever pay for a scoop? In today's day and age of Gawker and Deadspin.
We don't have the budget to pay for scoops.
Okay, money aside. Money aside. I mean, where do you draw the line on that?
I've actually never paid for a scoop. I've never paid for a scoop. I mean, I pay writers to get a scoop, but I've never paid a source. I don't come from that kind of a journalistic background. I find it just makes me uncomfortable. I always feel there's a way to get the story without having to do that. And it doesn't make it's not a news value that I want to go with.